I'm sure each and every single one of you has heard the quote, you become what you think about, you become your thoughts. And that's very, very true. Everything that you think about becomes reality. If you think you're shit, or if you think you're good or great or whatever, you're right. Whatever your mind conceives about you and about the world around you, you're right. The mentality that you have, the attitude that you have, like you're right about everything. Like if you think you're gonna make it, you're right. If you think you're not gonna make it, you're also right. You know? So you really become what you think about. You really form the world around you and your reality based on your thoughts. So that's why a healthy mindset and a healthy mentality is absolutely crucial. And the way I kind of structure my mental state and my mentality is very simple. I do it in 3 steps. So the first step is literally fixing your mind, because most of us have a broken mind. Um, and the way I mean, what I mean about that is that most of us are hooked on cheap dopamine. Most of us are overstimulated. Most of us do not have honestly healthy minds that are normally functioning the way our ancestors did, before us, before technology, before the internet and social media and all that. Like our minds are completely fried. That's why everything feels hard to us these days. That's why people talk about how hard it is to work, how hard it is to train, how hard it is to do all these things. It's not really hard if you reframe your mind and you remove all the bullshit. Because when you remove the cheap dopamine and you reprogram your mind to enjoy the hard things, everything changes. So the first thing you got to do is fix your mind. And the best way to look at it is to enjoy resisting the things that make you worse as a man. So these are going to be your vices, your addictions, your bad habits. That can be scrolling, porn, junk food, going out to party, alcohol, whatever it may be. So anything that makes you worse, enjoy resisting it. Enjoy removing it from your life. Because now you're going to reframe your mind and reprogramming your mind into actually enjoying removing these things as opposed to enjoying doing them. Because if you enjoy doing them, then you're never going to be able to remove them from your life. But if you understand and you always think about whenever you get the urge to do these things that it's really bad for you, that these things ruin you, that they make you worse as a man, you will develop this mentality that you start enjoying resisting them. Every time you resist it, you find enjoyment in it. And the same thing about doing the hard things. Don't label it as a hard thing or painful or whatever, because then your mind is going to make the connection that it's a bad thing or that it's a hard thing and you don't want to do it. You should reprogram your mind into actually enjoying the things that make you better as a man. And most of the times, the things that make you better as a man are going to be hard things to do, and vice versa. The hard things are going to be the things that make you better as a man. So you gotta reprogram and reframe your mind into enjoying resisting and removing the bad things, the things that make you worse, and enjoying the things that make you better as a man. That's the first thing. The second thing is understanding that most of the time you're going to feel imperfect, you're not going to feel the best, you're going to feel like shit, you're going to feel hungry or sleep deprived or unmotivated or whatever, right? Like there's always going to be something that makes you feel suboptimal, right? Whether you've eaten like shit, your digestion has been bad throughout the day, whatever it may be. And our default state as human beings is imperfection. Most of the time we're just going to feel imperfect. We're just going to feel like shit. And that's just how it is. So if you can embrace that imperfection and just act regardless and understand, well, I'm going to feel like shit most of the time anyways, not necessarily shit, but imperfect, then you may as well just act all the time because that's your default state. If you wait on feeling perfect, where you've had a perfect diet, you've slept amazingly well, you had a perfect workout and all that to be able to sit down and do the work, you're very rarely actually going to do any real work. And that's true. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a little bit sleep deprived. It doesn't matter if you haven't eaten the best. It doesn't matter if you're tired, if you feel flat in the gym or whatever. You understand that your default state is imperfection and you act regardless. That's the second thing. And most people kind of label that in another way where they say, well, you got to act regardless of how you feel. And this is also a bad thing and a bad way to look at it, because think about it. You're telling yourself that you don't feel like doing these things and I'm going to do them anyways. So already you're programming your mind into perceiving these things as hard things, as painful things to do. And that will cause and create a bunch of resistance, which is not what you want. But when you reframe it in another way where you understand that your default state is imperfection, then it's going to be easier to work hard all of the time. But when you tell yourself, oh, I don't feel like doing these things are hard, you're automatically programming your mind into perceiving these things as painful, as extremely difficult. And that's going to cause a lot of resistance and a lot of procrastination, and then you're never going to end up doing them. So act from that standpoint that I'm going to feel imperfect most of the time, so I may as well act all the time. That's it. And the third thing is understanding that you don't have time. There is literally no time. People walk around thinking that they have time, that there's no stress, there's no urgency. But the truth of the matter is, you don't have any time. Time is running out. Like, we're heading into very dark times. And I'm not saying this to fearmonger or, you know, be a full on conspiracy theorist, but we're headed towards very, very dark time. Like, complete control, complete surveillance with AI, digital IDs, control on how you spend your money, all of these things, right? And most of us are going to have electric cars and they're going to be able to be turned off at any time. They want to also make it happen. Like, I'm not entirely sure of this, but I've heard and read some things that the plan is to remove personal ownership of vehicles. So most people are not going to be able to own their own vehicle. They're not going to be able to own their own homes. That's why BlackRock is fucking buying up everything these days, the entire real estate market. And these are just previews of what's going to happen in the future. Like, we're headed towards very, very dark times of complete control. And these final years up until 2030 are going to be your final years of freedom in a way. Like, you're not really free today either, because you're likely working, you know, a 9 to 5 where you have to be at a certain place at a certain time for a certain period of time every single day. You cannot control your time. You don't get paid what you actually need to get paid to be able to take care of your family the way you want to. There is no nuclear family anymore. So you're not 100% free today either, but it's going to get even worse. Like, you're not going to be able to spend as much as you want or however you want. And you're going to be able to have your funds frozen in an instant through, you know, CBDCs, and, you know, they're going to be able to track everything that you do through digital IDs, AI surveillance. AI is developing at a very rapid rate as well. So full control is coming to the entire world, and it's like, it's very, very fucking scary. And that's where we're headed. And I feel like these final few years up until 2030 is the final chance to make this happen. And the very thing that's going to enslave pretty much everyone is also the same thing that you can use to become rich and free yourself, which is going to be AI. Because if you don't learn AI right now, it's going to enslave you in the future. It's going to replace you, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do, because you're not going to have any skills to be able to make any money online. Unless you have a personal brand or you understand AI, I think you're fucked. Because AI is going to replace everything. AI is going to be able to do anything, and the only thing that you can do outside of AI where you're going to be able to survive is a personal brand. And even that is a little bit difficult, because now we have AI influencers. Sure, they're not super realistic today. They're very realistic, but it's not convincing to anyone today. People can see that it's AI. But in a few years' time, when AI video generation models are super advanced and LLMs are even more advanced than they are today, and things just get better and better and more advanced, like, even influencers are going to be replaced. You're going to see AI influencers and you're not going to be able to tell the difference. They're going to have far more interesting lives than the average person online. And these are the times we're headed towards, and it's very, very scary. So I truly feel like learning AI is the only reasonable thing to do today, and really mastering it to set yourself apart in the future, because that's what it's going to take. Because there's not going to be any other money-making methods in the future that, you know, AI is not going to be involved in. So yeah, my point is that you're running out of time. That's what I'm trying to say. I know I went a little bit on a tangent, but you are absolutely running out of time. Um, and not only that, like every single person that is at least 25 years old watching this knows how fast time just flies by. If you're young, you don't have that understanding yet. You don't really get it because, you know, you're very young, you haven't really experienced life. But once you get a little bit older, you understand how life just flies by. And this idea of being patient and letting things take time is the biggest fucking lie sold to us because patience is not going to lead you anywhere. It's just going to make you drag things out, and time is just going to pass you by. And then you're going to realize, shit, I didn't act with any urgency, and I've just ran out of complete, like, all of the time that I had. And yeah, I mean, that's the kind of mentality that most people have, that they have time. You don't have time. That's the thing. You don't have time. Time is running out. You need to act today. You need to master AI, and that's it. That's how you save your bloodline. That's how you save your family. Because your parents don't know anything about this. They're going to be replaced. Like everyone you know are going to be replaced. People don't know anything about this. They don't know AI. They think it's all a fad. They think it's all a conspiracy theory. Like the same way people thought the internet was a fad. The same way people thought Bitcoin was a fad. Now we're in the most impressive, invention of mankind, and people think it's a fad. Like that's completely retarded. If you know a little bit about AI and you're into AI at least a little bit, you know how advanced it is today, just 2 years after it became mainstream in 2023. Um, if you look at something like Gemini 3 and what it's capable of, holy shit, you'll understand that we're headed towards time of complete replacement. So, yeah. So these are the three kind of mental frameworks that I have to think in a different way that helps me act at the highest level. So you need to think in the same way, that you understand that you got to fix your mind, enjoy the things that make you better, enjoy resisting the things that make you worse, embrace imperfection because that's your default state, and realize that you have no time. So yeah, that was kind of my rant. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have a solid framework of how you think, and you don't understand that we're headed towards very very dark times and you need to really really dial in mentally, then you're probably gonna be fucked in the future, because yeah, we're headed towards very very dark times, and that's just how it is. But yeah, guys, the rant stops here. Yeah, and I'll try to be consistent with these videos. I really enjoy making them. I really don't have a lot of structure when it comes to these videos. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm just speaking, and I'm not very good at making them. I'm not very good at creating content and just speaking in front of the camera. So I'm doing what I can, but it's at least it's fun doing them. I'm just enjoying it, just complete, unedited, and unplanned as well. There's no script, there's nothing like that. I'm just speaking from my mind, no cuts, nothing like that. So yeah, if you have any thoughts, if you have anything at all that you want to say, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, I embrace it. I embrace every single opinion that people have about me. Whether you want to hate on me, amazing. Just post your comment. It's gonna help me out in the algorithm. So all hate is welcomed. All positive comments are welcomed as well. But I'm really enjoying making these videos, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers.